a bracket?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Flank. I'm joined by my co-host, a legend to the scene, 20-time champion, 2-time world champion. Give it up for Patty P, a.k.a. Aches. And then we also got another world champion, another legend, another staple, Mr. Chris Parasite. Gentlemen, how we doing today?
Doing good, Tom.
Hell yeah, man.
I noticed that my 2022 world champions are looking back in form. So
Hey, they're hitting form, man. They're
Always
hitting
a good day.
form, bro. For those of you who don't know, we're going over the Pro-Am Classic today. There was 12 matches today. We're not going to be analyzing any gameplay or anything like that, but we're definitely going to go through and give our thoughts on the day. But go ahead, Pat. What were you going to say?
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say. I mean, hey, they're looking good, and then also, I mean,
Oh yeah.
the reigning champion struggling a little bit without the Volk. So it's interesting. It's interesting.
So I mean, we could start there. Was Los Angeles Guerrillas the only team to lose to a challenger team today? They were.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because they're the champs. You know, like
But it was the best challenger team.
It was the best challengers team, and
Yeah, but we're talking about the reigning champs.
yeah, it's interesting. To see the champs lose. If I didn't think the champs were going to be the team to lose to a challengers team.
Bro, Pat, you literally were saying when the event was over that was a miracle run. Like, we both know, like,
Hey,
it's LA Gorillas, like, not to take anything away from them. Like, we can't bullshit like their Atlanta phase, just dominant reign of terror, just go on lose the AM team. Like,
That's
hey,
true.
We gotta bring Austin back down to earth. He was acting a little crazy. He was acting a little crazy on Twitter. We just gotta bring him back down to earth a little bit.
hey man,
Getting smoked up by Scrappy and Mohawk.
Series results aside, I mean, it was a close series regardless. And I mean, dude, those Toronto Ultra guys, or the NA team, they're disgusting, dude. Scrappy is on a tear in Vanguard. That guy is hungry, bro. Like, you can literally tell from his attitude in game and how he, like, presents himself. Like, the guy's a beast.
Do you think he's the best player right now from the challenger scene, from what you've seen? I personally think he's probably the best.
I mean, statistically, yeah. And, like, so this is one thing. I played against him in Mohawk and Cold War. And Mohawk was a very smart player. He's kind of stationary, but Scrappy was one of those guys that, like, was just disgusting, like, talented. Like, he didn't miss.
Yeah.
And in this type of game where you got to be, like, kind of like turn and, like, snappy, like, this, like, suits his play style with an AR. Like, he's really good.
Yeah, I feel like he's just a playmaker, honestly. Like, when you watch Scrappy play, he's not afraid to get aggressive. He's not afraid to make plays, and he's definitely not afraid to let you hear it on stage and to scream at you and get up. I definitely think that the confidence that he shows is impressive, man. I know a lot of people some people don't like the yelling, don't like the screaming and stuff like that. But personally, like, as long as he's, like, keeping it tame and not saying anything too out of pocket, I think it's good. It motivates his team, gets a lot of energy in the building. So Scrappy's my number one. A lot of people talking about Hixie as well. Hixie's another person that I think's been turning heads a little bit. What do you guys think about him? He's another one. He played for Toronto because he was their substitute. And he came in for Toronto during the season, and he played pretty well. He was doing his thing.
Florida, right?
Yeah, they won.
Like a super close series. The 3-0 that was like every map was like 1 point basically.
Yeah. I mean, it's their whole team, man. Like, you got to give credit to all of them. Mohawk was a champion of Cold War Challenger season. And Hixie and Vickle were both very good in the EU Challenger scene at points too, man. Those guys are all really good. They're clicking. Mayhem, former coach of what was the team called? Texas Nation. He's a veteran as well. Very smart dude. All those guys are putting in a lot of work, and I mean, they managed to upset the champs. So I mean, today was a very interesting day. With that match aside. So.
Well, I think most challenger teams today couldn't keep up. If you want my honest opinion, when it came to the respawns, man, like, they weren't keeping up, especially Strike X. They were getting pooped on.
Yeah.
They getting pooped on. I mean, they just and to me, I just think it's just a talent thing. I think it's a whole different ball game when you get into the pro league. But that's not to say that there's not a lot of talent in challengers. I mean, we saw obviously Toronto NA take down LA Gorillas, but besides the point, even from the teams that are losing, there's still good players in that team individually. That I can definitely
100%.
come in and see, some teams making some noise. But it was really cool to see some of the challengers guys come in and see what they can do against some of these pro teams. And it's not over yet. We still got a whole nother day tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday. So we got a whole weekend full of the Pro-Am Classic. Get to see some of the amateurs. A lot of people talking about Beans in the chat. Bro, this guy Beans is nuts, man. He's good, man. Beans is good. He can play. With a name like Beans, bro, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that.
Everyone
but
gives him so much shit for his name, dude. Even like Allie, like like the one on the desk, she was giving him shit for his name.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair though, everybody talks about his name, so it's kind of a good name if everybody's talking about it. You know,
yeah.
I feel like it's pretty easy to brand Beans. Like you make your logo a fucking can of beans or some shit. You know, like, it's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what some of these amateur players can do moving forward. I wanted to ask you guys a little bit about some of the roster changes that were going on, right? We had Havoc come in for Minnesota. We have Kenny. Wasn't impressed, but I wasn't impressed either. And then we also had Kenny, who was on a sub. Definitely wasn't impressed with Kenny in a sub today. Definitely struggled.
Not. Back to the AR for sure.
Priesta struggled again. His woes continue. Priesta, I think it was between Priesta and Major Maniac when it came to that team change. And, Preston's going to have to step up, man, because he's been struggling as well. He's another one who I think is just not playing like himself.
I've been said this.
Well, what do you think it is, Chris?
I don't know. He just hasn't been playing as good as he did. The one time I remember him playing really well was when all of like Minnesota like popped off, and that's when they had their run to basically win the tournament, and Priesta was playing exceptionally well. But then it kind of went back to the same thing where he's just not playing up to the Priestas that we kind of grew up with.
Right.
Just playing really well, just like super good submachine gun, and like, which is weird because he plays like a flex role now. It's kind of he reminds me of like Kenny's situation where it's like they were both really good subs in their prime, right? Their prime. I don't want to say they're falling off or anything, but you get the point. Yeah. And now they're like running flex roles and they're just not playing as consistently or to their potential, and it's really weird. And this is just another thing. I feel so bad for Major Maniac because I was saying this before. We've talked about the Rokkr situation many times prior to the roster change. They need to stop doing that guy dirty. I think he's solid. I mean, I get it. They need pace, but like, bro, I think he's a good player. He's a good AR. Like as an actual AR, he's good. I don't think he's an issue when it came to like their struggles. Like the guy was disgusting in search, and I think he played his AR role exceptionally well in respawn. I just think that they lacked a really good second aggressive SMG, and then in their flex they've lacked that as well. So I think he got done dirty. I feel bad for Priesta, but I mean he just hasn't been playing up to his potential for a while now, and I feel bad saying this because I think he's a good dude, and I've been friends with him for a while, but I'm just being a realist here.
You gotta call it how you see it. I mean,
exactly.
It's not like I got a lot of respect for Priesta. I've won a championship with Preston. I've teamed with him, and I know how good he is. So to see him struggling is very unlike him, like I know that he hasn't been playing the best COD, but he has a lot of talent, I'm not really too sure what it is. And maybe Pat, do you know what it is? What decided Minnesota to say, you know what, Mike, you're hitting the bench? What was it? Like, do you guys have an opinion or a conspiracy on what you think it was? Or do you think they just thought maybe, Mike was just the odd one out, like, what do you think it is?
I mean, I honestly think to them, at least in my perspective, is Dylan and Major, I don't think really worked. I think they, and I still think Dylan should be the main on this team. I think Mike was just in a shit spot because of the pacing of the players. Preston, obviously, I mean, he's played every role in the game so far, been struggling. They haven't been able to find him to be comfortable. Sandy's honestly, this whole team is just struggling outside of Dylan, and Dylan's only doing good when he's running a main or running an auto all the time. So, I don't know. I think this team has bigger issues than just Mike. I think Mike was just put in a shit spot. Because I do think he was pivotal to their team, especially in search. So, I don't know. I mean, this Rokkr team I wasn't impressed by, and I still, I mean, going forward, like I know it's just a Pro-Am. I'm not really expecting anything from this Rokkr team. Like they're not in qualification for the top 8 right now for champs. And to be honest, to me, I'd be surprised if they make it. Like I think they're going to stay in this bottom 4. As much as it sucks to say that, just with the nature of, how much they can actually improve. And the fact that this is probably like their only change that they're going to be able to make. Right. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's obviously one match, one day, but I wasn't much impressed at all by them. And I think they're just in a tough spot as a team going forward.
Yeah, I think Havoc, I think Havoc's going to bring some good stuff to the team. Like, I definitely think they needed somebody like Havoc. Somebody just take routes who knows the in and outs of the game. He just hasn't really been performing like he was in Challengers. But to be fair to Havoc, the competition's a lot different when you get to the CDL. So, it's a pace that he's going to have to get used to again. He got to a little slow start, but I think very highly of Havoc. So we'll see how it goes on for the rest of the weekend with the Minnesota Rokkr. But then we also had Kismet over on New York, who... They came out and they did their thing today, but Kismet came out a little slow as well. Maybe it's just the pace, right, Chris? Pat, just the pace a little bit. Well, yeah, he got pooped on today, but they won, Pat. They win.
Yeah. I mean, to me, like, let's take Kismet aside. Dude, the New York trio to me just looked really good. Paul's obviously a beast. We knew that from when he got picked up, but like Paul, Hydra, and even Krim, like I think that's a good ass trio. Like. It kind of gets to the point where like I feel like and not to say Kismet's not good enough for this team, but if they could have, and maybe Kismet can be this player, but if they could have a superstar player in that sub role to help Paco, like I think this team's going to be nasty. And if Kismet can live up to that expectation, then I think that this team's going to be really good, and I think they'll have a really good second half of this season. To me, looking back, and I know we've kind of beat this argument, but dude, I think Havoc's going to really regret not taking this New York spot, because I think Kismet's going to succeed on this team. And whether they would be better with Havoc or Kismet's kind of whatever, but I'm putting a lot of faith in this New York team moving forward.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, Kismet only got pooped on one map. Let me rewind that bracket. It was just the first map he played, right? Like the first map they came out, and he definitely struggled. It was the Bouquet Tar Point, I remember. But he played well the rest of the day. He was doing his thing. He was making plays. I think Kismet's going to bring a lot to that team. I just think Kismet in general is just a very level-headed guy. I just think he's going to be a good teammate for them.
I think the biggest thing that we aren't touching on is just his pace. Like, whether he drops a 0.5 or 1.2, he's got insane interactions. Like, he is playing fast as fuck.
Yeah.
And I think that's really going to help Paco on this team. And I think that's something they were really missing with Neptune. I think Neptune, like we think of Neptune as a speed demon, but his stats weren't really reflecting that.
Yeah,
his engagements
100%.
weren't there on the map. And I think that's what Kismet is really going to bring to this team, the fact that he's playing fast as fuck no matter what. He's got good comps from what I saw as well.
Yeah, no, the listening was really good. It was super impressive. He's just bringing a lot to the team. Besides for the first map where he did get pooped on there, he did his thing today. He was doing his thing. New York looked pretty good. We'll see how they end up playing moving forward. And then we also had Jimbo, who, hey, man, this guy's playing good. This guy's nasty. This guy Jimbo's fucking hard carrying. He was making plays today. I just like to see Jimbo performing well, because I know when he first came in, it was rough, man. It was rough.
Yeah, he's definitely stepped it up a lot.
Yeah.
Some impressive.
And that's the thing. Guy. It's like, I don't want to judge people too much on their performance after just one day, coming into it, because, you got to get into it a little bit. You got to warm into it and get used to the pace and get used to it all. And you can definitely see a difference in Jimbo. But Paris got screwed today. Did you guys see what happened with Paris? They got hoed. That was bad. That was really bad. It was a Gavitu control. They were about to win the round. They had streaks. They had ring control. They had everybody blended back. Boston was blended back in a spawn trap. And Donnie lagged out. Donnie was top ring. He was holding it. He lagged out. And then at that point, what do you guys think is the right thing to do when a situation like that happens? Like, they were literally about to win the map.
What was the exact score?
I think it was 2-1 Paris. So if they would have won, they would have won the map, I'm pretty sure. But then they ended up...
How close were they to capping, like, the point or something?
They were on defense. Or it was 2-2. Sorry, excuse me. Sorry. It was 2-2, and Donnie was on defense. 2-2, Donnie and Paris were on defense, and they had ring control, and they had streaks, they had ring control, and Boston was just getting blended on the Gavitu spawn trap. They were just spawning back right, and they just had them blended back there. And they had streaks. 30 seconds left. They had streaks, everything. Thank you, chat, for helping us out, because it's been 12 matches today. So obviously we can't go back and look at every match.
The one thing the league has always struggled with, and I remember a situation when I was in Challengers at the Los Angeles event in MW, a team got screwed over in a very similar fashion where to a pro player or to a competitive player, the outcome of a match before it actually happens, right? Depending on the time, where people are, situation and stuff like that. But the refs and stuff like that, don't like see it that way, and they'll just go to like a full replay or something of that nature when you know for a fact there's zero way the team would have won or the other team would have thrown unless they actually AFK'd. And sometimes the ruling doesn't go in that way, and I think they just need the league in general just needs better people to analyze those situations and kind of understand the situation as a whole, and you know the actual possibilities of whether a team would win or lose, or if there's a possibility that they would somehow stay in the game or something like that, because they've always struggled with that for a long time, I feel like.
The problem is,
go ahead, Pat.
I was just gonna say some of those situations though are tricky because there's like no win outcomes. Like it would just come down to a full replay.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, can you potentially just say, hey, have just like a round that doesn't count, give Donnie his streaks and stuff, just run into the middle of the map, everybody give him the streak, and then they replay the second round, and then they have streaks and just kind of go from there. I mean, that's why we need a pause feature.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah, we need a pause feature. Like
they were working on it in Cold War, and then they took it away.
It was broken. It didn't work.
Before that, they were talking about that in Modern Warfare.
Okay, well maybe not working on it, but they tested it in Cold War, and they, what happened to it?
Well, so apparently in Cold War, the pause feature didn't work on LAN, but it worked online, right? Wasn't that how it worked?
That sounds right, yeah.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that it worked on LAN or worked online, but didn't work on LAN, so they stopped using it. Which is like, they gotta fix that shit. We need a pause feature because how many lag outs did we get today? How many? There was at least 10 lag outs today. Some of the matches were super delayed.
You're at a LAN station. You're due for a few lag outs. That's just expected.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair though, like I know that they're at like a little. It looks like a local LAN almost in a way.
Yeah.
But it is a cool vibe for like a pro-am classic type of thing. All the people, all the guys. There's no fans, so it's all pros and the challengers teams, and they're kind of all just chilling in the room. Like it's kind of a pretty cool vibe for the pro-am. I actually don't mind it. I kind of like it. Like the atmosphere and everything of it, just having everybody chill in the same spot. But a pause feature would be great, man. Definitely. And looking at McGee's tweet, Theory's tweet, head coach from the Paris Legion, apparently somebody signed into Donnie's count. Which is like, how's that their fault?
Well, the biggest issue is that we're not playing on LAN anymore. We're playing online with low ping. That's right. The biggest problem. You shouldn't be able to sign into somebody's account.
So it's like local. It's like local online. It's not even local LAN. It's
isn't
like
that
local
like
online.
Like
you're just online. You're just playing on the same connection.
Isn't it like that on like every game? Like where they just basically have like a closed off server where people play. Like I feel like that's like in a lot of esports that are PC like that. I think LAN like with like the like console linking was just like something that we only experienced on console. I don't know if that's like a thing on like PC games. I feel like every PC game esport that I know of uses like a actual server that they like a private server type thing.
Yeah, I honestly have no idea. I don't know how they do it or how it works, but a private server, it has to be a private server, right? It can't be a public server. If it was a public server,
maybe I'm stupid. Just forget it. But I was just so confused because I'm like, how the fuck is it that there's like latency?
I have no idea. It sucks, honestly. It sucks, but what are you gonna do?
8 ping and some people are on 2 ping.
Exactly. Like there's variance, which is just weird to me. Listen, it's not consistent.
All I know, Haggy, is we were running shit when it was real LAN. That's all I know.
My reaction time at 18 was nuts. Anyways.
Well, let's talk about LA Thieves a little bit. They got full sail today. They were up 5-0 in the S&D. And New York came all the way back and won 6 straight and full sailed the LA Thieves and then went on to 3-0 them. Kenny was double negative in the hard point, double negative in the control. The submachine gun just wasn't flowing for him today. What did you guys think the problem was? And what do you think they should do?
Pat, I'm gonna let you handle this one because
Pat's munching. Pat's munching over there.
Bro, I know what he's about to say, bro.
Pat's ready. I don't know. Listen,
the chat already knows what he's about to say.
Listen, bro, it's time. No more role swaps. No more blaming Cap. No more switching guns. blow this team the fuck up.
No, you think so, Pat? You're
Listen.
gonna blow it up? I
Listen.
personally agree with you. I think they
I
should
like
change
Kenny.
too.
I think he's a beast. But today, I know it's one game. All it did was answer my questions. My question for the last 4 years has been, why the fuck hasn't Kenny ran a sub since World War II? And today I found out. Because he just got absolutely turned on left and right. Every engagement couldn't buy a kill with a sub.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder why though. I thought he was gonna come out and fry with a sub. I thought he was gonna do his thing.
I thought so too. And when I saw that Bocage, I was like, oh yeah, they're playing confident. Kenny on a sub. He's about to look like a BZ and Shotzi. No. Man was looking like Jimbo day one in the pro league.
No, he had a tough day.
It wasn't that bad, but
I think Draza looked good with an AR.
No, Draza did look good with an AR. He did.
Yeah,
he did look good with an AR.
But like Draza's solid. I mean, they're all solid. They're all gonna look good with ARs. To me, it's the same story, man. Like Envoy just needs some help. That's been a story for a while. They were obviously blaming comms and doing this and that. Listen, this team just has to figure it out because it's not just their slaying ability anymore. It's the fact that they cannot like put shit together. Like, bro, you're up 5-0, and we've seen it before out of them where they lose their minds.
They got negative ice, bro.
But bro, 5-0, like you got 6 rounds. You literally got 6 tries, and you can't put one together.
Bro, on Tuscan, like the simplest map with like 2 strats.
Arguably one of their better maps.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the same one they got came back on like every single time, dude.
Yeah, and the thing is as they were losing rounds, you could just see it in their faces. They were like losing hope. I was like, you just regain a little bit, stay composed. You just need one round, right? It was like 3-5 or 4-5, and you just see them with their hands on their head and they're sighing and they're leaning back, and I'm like, come on, guys, snap out of it. You need one round. But I definitely think New York, with the momentum they had, just winning round after round after round. It was impressive. The full sale was impressive from New York. You got to give them some credit too. Because I think the whole composition over there in New York now, they have a good team, man. Like the roles make sense. They seem like they're getting along with each other. Hopefully that continues because we've seen some of the tweets this week between Neptune and Clay and Paul X and all these guys. D-Real was tweeting at Neptune. Neptune was tweeting at D-Real, this and that. It just seems like the culture at NYSL has not been good. That's what it seems like. And I'm not sure where it's all falling apart. Did you guys see all that? That whole argument with Neptune and D-Real and all that? What did you guys think about that? What did you think about all that?
I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and side with anyone because there's 2 perspectives to it, and I get it. Like when I've been in a scenario like Neptune where I kind of like feel like I've been scapegoated at points in my career, and it doesn't feel good.
No,
right?
I've been there too.
Yeah, and it makes you question yourself, but it's a very frustrating position to be in, despite what is actually true and what isn't. It wasn't good for anybody, and it needed to change. It sucks that stuff like that is coming coming to the surface, but I mean, there's nothing you can do about it now. So they just both got to focus on themselves. Neptune's got to go back to challengers, prove the haters wrong, if he's truly good enough. And then New York obviously has to keep on doing what they're doing at the Pro-Am, man, and show that they made the right choice. Nothing else you can do. Like the arguing is so fucking pointless because what's done is done.
Yeah, the Twitter fingers are popping off. What did you think about it, Pat? You think anything crazy about it, or you think it's just an immaturity, just emotions, running high, and the Twitter fingers are out?
Bunch of babies, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, been there, done that. I feel like it's just emotions get high. I mean, they're clearly, Neptune wants to play, Clay wants to play, but at the end of the day, what are you gonna do about it? There's really not much you could say or do. For Neptune, I just feel like he just needs to focus on himself, like focus on the game. Try not to focus about all that other stupid shit. But he's been very vocal, and so has Clay. I know they're both itching to get back in there, so we'll see what ends up happening with them. But we can talk about Optic a little bit. Today, Illey came in, and he wasn't supposed to play. This morning, I woke up to him playing. They announced today that he was playing, and I was super shocked because he had just got surgery. So I was like, okay.
Is that what happened? I didn't know what happened.
Yeah, so actually, matter of fact, let's tune into this video. It's a little update from Rambo Ray and Illey. This was after the second match, or this was before the second match where Illey backed out. They played one match with Illey. They ended up winning the match. And because of some discomfort and pain, they ended up pulling him out. And this is what they had to say about it. So let's tune in.
What's up, guys? Rambo Ray here with another update of the roster. I'm sure you guys are sick of hearing of me by now, but it is what it is. So I got Ender here. So Ender's going to be stepping down for the rest of this tournament.
And before we listen to this, apparently there was no surgery. He didn't get surgery. That's what I'm being told in the chat. So I was wrong about that.
He's going to explain
no
to you guys
surgery.
really what's going on with his thumb. But again, it's mostly a precautionary issue that we're trying to make sure it doesn't get worse. He was in the process of healing. And obviously thought he was good enough to play, and he can go a little more in depth with that.
Yeah, so basically, this part of my thumb, well, like the bottom part, is where I play, and like I play tactical as well. And then after I went to the doctors, like I tried getting used to like a button in the back and like only like moving my thumbstick with my right thumb, but I couldn't get used to it. Like I had a day to get used to it, and I tried. But the thing is, like, I've been playing the other way for 10 years, so I tried getting used to it, but during that series, like, I could just tell, like, I wasn't, like, playing like myself with the button, so I went back to the thumbstick for, like, after first map, and, like, I was playing like myself, but the thing is, like, it just, like, the pain was just, like, there. Yeah.
So, again, he's in the process of healing. It's not fully healed yet. He tried being inhuman in some capacity, because you can ask any pro athletes, that's like changing your grip on a baseball bat, the way he was changing his grip on his controller. So we're going to take the precautionary measure again to make sure it doesn't get worse. So he's
really, Rambo?
Inder's got the gorilla grip.
I don't know what Ray's talking about, because I remember one player who did that. No sleep, couple hours out the ER, being stitched up, came to the venue.
Yeah, but to be fair, it was on your palm, Pat. It wasn't on your thumb.
Wait, whoa. It was right here, Tom.
Nah, get the fuck out of here.
I got the scar. It's right here. 6 stitches.
Yeah,
Six
but
stitches on the bottom of my thumb.
I think
had
we're
to adjust the way I held the controller.
I still remember that day. I reverse swept Pat, and then Pat reverse swept me, knocked me out of the tournament.
Dude, my controller.
Yeah,
was
Pat beat me at that tournament. I lost to Pat at that tournament.
Yeah,
I remember that.
I was so mad.
That was the first AW event, right? You guys won.
Though,
you just gotta
Pat, that was a legendary event, Pat. That was a legendary event for sure. That was actually fucking sick. I just remember Doug getting a fucking 3-piece on a fucking site. Remember that? The Doug clip of
the recovery.
Yeah, on a recovery. Yeah, bro.
He killed. Who did he kill first? I think he shit on, like, it was Krim, Formal, and then Seth. He shot Krim, John Formal, killed Seth, and then planted and died. But yeah, that 3-piece was legit.
Yeah, I mean, just to give my thoughts on, you know, the Illey and Rambo video, I feel for Illey. I feel like you can see it in his face that he's just like, you know, really wants to play. I feel like he's just upset. And being somebody who completely stopped playing because of a hand injury, I just feel for him. I just want him to get better, and I want him to get healthy, because being somebody who went through a hand injury for months and months and months, I know how stressful it is to play with it. And not being able to play at your full capacity, not being able to do what you want to do, you know, when you can't play at your full potential, I think it fucks you up a little bit mentally, or at least it did for me. And it just caused a lot of anxiety for me, and just a lot of, you know, just bad thoughts. So I'm hoping that Illey can just rest his hand. I don't think they should rush him in at all. I think if they want to give Illey like a month rest, like him not even touching the controller, I think they should do it. Whatever they have to do to make sure his hand can get 100% is what they need to do. And I'm not sure what exactly it is. I thought that he had a cyst and he had surgery to get it removed and he had it bandaged up. But then the chat was telling me he didn't have surgery. So what is it exactly?
He probably just holds his controller a certain way where, let's say he's talking about how, well, you guys the stream can see me, but like if he's holding his controller and his thumbstick's hitting here, it's not like his actual thumbstick, right? This might be an extreme, but it's probably like hitting like a nerve. Like when he's like putting a lot of pressure on that nerve, for example, for a long period of time, like after a while, it probably fucking like will like, you know, something bad will happen to it or it'll hurt like hell.
Well, apparently it's like a pimple. People are saying it's a pimple and it's full of pus and it's infected.
Oh, it's a pimple. Oh, well,
it's like
I don't know the actual.
It's like
thing,
an infected pimple or some shit. Like, you know, and bro, listen, if it's painful and there's something there and it's causing him discomfort, like, bro, he's not gonna shoot as straight as he normally does. He's not gonna be comfortable. Even in the middle of a game, if he's thinking about his hand and this and that and trying to, you even heard him say he's trying to change it the way he holds the controller. He's not thinking about the plays he's making on the map. He's thinking about that, you know?
My boy needs some Lysol for his controller.
Well, I don't know exactly. At least it's nothing to do with his tendons or his ligaments or, you know, because with me, it was with my tendons and my ligaments and it was fucking up my range of motion. I couldn't even move my thumb.
Yeah, I think you have much. serious.
No, but I luckily for him, you know, I think he's gonna be okay. Like I just think they need to be patient with him because he is such a talented player and he brings so much to a team. And we saw how much he brings to a team when they went into their second series with Jordan General. And listen, man, okay, they came out. They didn't look good, right? Optic, they got bounced around a little bit by Florida. Florida came out and 3-0'd them, which, by the way, Florida looked great today. They were playing really good today. They looked fantastic, but obviously Optic didn't have Illey, who, in my opinion, what Illey brings to the roster was just missing. You know, I feel like they needed Ender. And I feel like it was kind of throwing off everybody on the team. I saw a lot of people hating on Jordan General, which I think is ridiculous. I think, you know, Jordan hasn't been practicing a lot with the team, maybe a little bit because, you know, recently they announced Illey taking a step back because of his hand. So he probably got a little bit of practice, but, bro, it's not easy.
The worst, though. Shotzi got cooked in that series.
Well, yeah, Shotzi played pretty bad as well. I mean, he had an off day today, Shotzi. He had a little bit of an off day. Which happens.
Listen, Tom, you know how it is. You filled in for Optic before.
Well, I was gonna say, and when I filled in for Optic, it was one of the hardest things I ever had to do. It was so hard, just because they played so differently. The way they come, the way they moved around the map, what they wanted me to do, the way they thought about things. It was just so different to what I was used to.
Not even that. You got fried one map. You were getting cooked. Like it's the same thing.
Oh
like,
yeah. But I mean, to be fair, I mean, I had my good series when I teamed with them, and I had my bad series. We ended up going 4-3 over like 2 weeks, and you know the series I played average in, we won. And the series I played fantastic in, we ended up losing. So it's like, you know, I just remember what I was going through when I subbed in. And I remember you get so much hate one day, and then we win, and then you get so much love the next day. And it's just like, it's like a love-hate relationship with the fans. And I just see so many people attacking General, and it's like, guys, like he's trying to help you guys. Like he's trying to help you guys. Oh yeah, I also had a fill-in for fucking Dashy in Black Ops 4. Which sucked. I said Dashy, could have been anybody else but Dashy. You know,
can you bring up
Pat.
Twitter real quick? I sent you a DM.
Yeah, I can bring up Twitter.
Just
problem.
bring that up, just for anyone you know who didn't watch BO3 all that much. You know.
What is this? What the hell is this, Pat?
Just bring it up, Tom.
I'm bringing it up. What? Let me see. What is
it up for the stream?
41. Oh, you filled in for Optic. Oh, little 41 and 24, Pat. Not too bad.
Hey. Some people, you know, they just rise to the occasion.
Yeah, Pat, look at you. Hey, Pat, there's not many people who can do that, boss. Not many people.
I had to carry those guys.
I still remember the Optic Aches memes.
Grim called me up. Grim called me up, and I had to, you know, I had to get him a win in the league.
I like that. It was good times, man.
What? I was using a Man of War, bro. It doesn't count.
No, it wasn't. No, I had to use a VMP that series.
No shot. You with a VMP, dude. No shot.
We were all filling in for fucking Optic at this point. Everybody got 2 weeks with Optic, you know?
Yeah, even I did in Ghost.
Did you actually? We all subbed in for Optic.
I didn't sub in. I was on the team for like 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah, you played for Optic, right. Right. Yeah, that was an interesting time. Yeah, it's a little bit of an interesting time and shit. Yeah.
It wasn't one day, bro. It was like a week.
It felt like one day, bro.
Yeah, time flies, man.
But what did you guys think? I mean, without having Illey in the lineup and seeing them play against Florida, what you guys? I personally saw the difference, man. Like Illey's much needed on that roster. And of course, playing with a sub is very difficult. But what did you guys think watching it all today? What did you think about Optic?
They played with a sub. Yeah. Invalid.
I didn't take much away from it.
It was an asterisk.
But at the end of the day, I still do think they're the second best team in the game, and I don't think that's going to change based on the Pro-Am. So.
No, I think a lot of teams going into the Pro-Am are kind of focusing on themselves a little bit. One of those teams is Toronto Ultra. Hey, bro, these guys are winning hard points now.
Hey, I called it. They're coming back with a vengeance. They had their trajectory. You know, they start off up here. They fell down a little bit, but Tom, they're on that roller coaster.
You think
they just hit
Pat?
That last dip, and they're about to ride all the way up to COD champs.
So wait, so I don't get it. You think FaZe is the best team, but you think Toronto's gonna win champs?
Tom, I couldn't have said it better.
You the best team and still lose.
All right, Pat. We'll see. You know, we'll see if it ends up, coming true. But yeah, what do you think it is about Toronto? You think just a month break? Which is weird too, because they were winning their hard points today, but losing S&D, you know? So it's like, maybe they're just focusing so much now on hard point. There's no way they did. Bro, this last month off, they were probably putting so much time into their hard point, probably watching so many VODs, watching all their gameplay back, trying to figure out what the fuck the problem was. And for them to come out and take care of business today was great, man. It was awesome to see.
But I do want to mention one thing. They obviously beat the Surge. And one thing we talked about with the Surge is like how important Sib is to that team. And Sib had a pretty bad series. I think he went like -20 or something like that.
Yeah.
At like a 0.8, which is like, I mean, dude, I swear it's like anytime him or Pred get like fried, then that team is just like almost a guaranteed loss. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I mean, so Seattle's not even in it anymore. They're out.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So they're just done. Their weekend is over after one day, which is crazy, man. There was a lot of matches today, man. 12 matches today, another 12 matches tomorrow. There was 4 different streams going on. Trying to keep up with all of it was a hassle. Did you guys see the shooting bodies? You guys see these challengers players? I think it was Furious, right?
I fucking love it, dude.
He was lighting up Scump. He was lighting up Seth's body. But I don't know, man. I like it. But I also think he made Seth turn up. He definitely made Seth.
I mean, listen, bro. Win or lose, like good publicity. Any publicity is good publicity. Like people are gonna remember that guy. Like regardless, it's like, oh, he's got a shot that comes by. Like at the end, like dude. I like the confidence. Like Scrappy is a perfect, example of it. Like the guy just fucking oozes it, bro. Like he doesn't give a fuck. He's got his, eyes set on a goal. And he's not gonna let nobody stop him. And when people, like try to step up to the guy, he's gonna let them know he's better than them. Like, yeah, we actually need people like that in the league.
No, we do. I didn't. From an entertainment standpoint, like I like the fact that he was shooting bodies and stuff. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was funny. It was just hilarious to watch. But I just thought it was a mistake because in my head I was like, you're shooting the wrong guy's fucking body. Now Scump is gonna turn the fuck up, and he did. Scump ended off last map. Scump was double pause. He's like 26 and 12 or some shit.
They're probably gonna lose the Optic anyways. But let's be realistic. But like, man, we need those people in the league, dude. It creates storylines. And I'm tired of the robotic ass fucking interviews, man. Like Scrappy's interview today with like Slack was like it was good. It was funny. I can see a lot of people being fans of that kid as long as he continues to play well, because if he starts playing like shit and he's talking like that, people are gonna hate on him. But as long as he continues to play well, people are gonna eat that shit up. So good on the challengers for at least trying. Good on Scrappy for doing that stuff.
Nah, and then one more thing before we take a look at the schedule for tomorrow is just what did you guys think about the Tommy gun? Paris Legion brought out the Tommy gun today.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, they brought out the Tommy gun, and I'm not sure why. Is that gun good? Is it a good gun?
What's with people always wanting to just stray from the meta, bro? I don't get it. Like,
well, I mean, if the gun's good and people aren't using it, Pat, I don't think it hurts to try. Like the Volk, right? Nobody was using a Volk,
but it's in a cheesy manner. Like I would get it if it's like it's being scrimmed widespread before the event, but like these last minute like swap putting guns, it just, to me, is just kind of cheesy. I don't know. Regardless whether the gun's good or bad, it just seems like to me, it's almost like a confidence thing. Like they might not. I don't know.
Well, to be fair, if you're gonna try something, it's probably good you try it here and not at like a major.
I'm saying if they didn't try it in like scrims like beforehand, like they
probably did, or to a degree, but they were like, oh, let's try it on land. I mean, I don't know what the hell they did.
There's nothing wrong with changing the meta if they find a better meta.
We're trying, bro.
I agree.
If people didn't try, then we wouldn't have known the Volk was that good. You see what I'm saying? Like,
there's a better meta,
But you're gonna see the same thing's gonna happen. Like this far in the game, it's just gonna get GA'd, and then it's right back to the same meta. It's just
you're right.
Like there's no point in doing this shit mid-season. Like if think about it, that gun's probably been good the entire time, just like the Volk was. Like
I don't think the gun's that good. That's all I was surprised they were using it.
I'm just saying the other guns, but yeah, I mean,
it shoots faster, right? It shoots faster than the MP40.
It's a fucking shotgun, bro. That's what it is.
It's good. It's good in like super close quarter range because it just probably shoots a lot faster. But I just feel like the MP40 is kind of like a do-it-all. Like you can hit cross map kills with an MP40. So as a sub player, I don't know why you wouldn't want to use the do-it-all gun. But it might not hurt to have one on the map, especially on a bow cage, which is where it was being used. So I don't know. We'll see if we'll see more of the Tommy gun tomorrow. And see if they end up bringing it back out. I just thought it was very interesting to see some new guns coming back in. And then before we go to the schedule again, one more thing. Florida, what do you think was with them today? They look great today. Granted, they played Optic with a sub, and things are going a little wrong for them. But, you know, talent-wise, Awakening looked really good today.
Yeah, I was about to say, was it Awake that fried? I think it was.
Awakening and Caesar fried. Caesar was destroying. He had a good 1v3 on Tuscan, a beautiful 1v3 against Optic.
I mean, you're just getting consistent production out of both those guys. Those are the two guys that have been on the team the longest, and those are the two guys that you kind of look at. And it's like, when are we going to see them both, you know, playing up to their potential consistently? Yeah. And lately, you know, ever since, you know, the last major and now, both of them are, you know, playing well at the same time, which has been, you know, rare for a while now.
Wake had a plus 30, 1.5.
Yeah, no, he was unbelievable today. Unbelievable. The whole team was really good today. I just thought Florida looked good, just as a whole.
1v3, Skies' 1v3 was disgusting.
Yeah,
that
it was nasty.
Such a
Damn, Chris, what happened to your boy?
Who, Fire? Don't roast him.
My God, I'm not roasting. I just saw the stats.
Listen, man.
What do you have today? What do you have today? Well, listen, to be fair, the whole team was getting dumped on.
It's fucking
no, for sure.
They played FaZe and they were getting pooed on.
His team is basically a pug, bro. Like,
I know.
Fucking by just like a weekend, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I know, but whoa, back to back 30s.
Hey, man. Hey, sometimes it be like that, man. I feel bad for him because, dude,
it was a pickup team, bro.
Bro,
like,
not just that, but like they qualify with a pickup team and then they get thrown into one of the hardest groups.
With
they're
FaZe,
playing, they're playing Atlanta FaZe. Like I was like, damn, I kind of feel bad for these guys. You know what I'm saying? Well, not all of those guys, but I feel bad for Fire. You know, but not all of them. But I definitely fell for Fire a little bit.
My boy Fire just can't catch a fucking break, bro.
No.
Like let the little man rock, bro. Come on.
Yeah. Poor Fire, man. It is what it is. You know, what are you gonna do about it? But let's take a look at the schedule for tomorrow. Honestly, I've been enjoying the pro-am. It's been a lot of matches, so obviously we're not gonna be able to go back and break down all this stuff. But it has been a lot of fun to watch, and I think Thursday and Friday it's going to be pretty hectic with so many matches, but Saturday and Sunday we'll probably be able to start breaking down matches and get back into it again, and see how this one ends up closing out. We get into Friday matches. It starts again at 3:00 Eastern. On a mainstream, we got London against LA Thieves, Optic against Minnesota, Boston against LAG. On Bravo, we have LAG versus Paris, FaZe versus Ultra, LA Thieves versus Team War. How do we know which Ultra they're playing? Well, what group was Atlanta FaZe? That's the actual Ultra. And then we got New York Subliners going up against Team War. We got Florida against Ultra Academy. And then London going up against NYSL. And then Delta Stream, we have Boston versus Ultra Academy. We have Seattle going up against Strike X. And then we have Paris Legion going up against Ultra Academy again. The Ultra Academies have been showing out. They look pretty good today, especially the NA team. EU looked all right.
But some of these teams are out though, right?
Well, Seattle's out, right? They're not, but they still have to play their games.
Right, yeah. But Strike X is technically out too, right? So that match is
that match is
Toronto,
literally
Ultra
pointless.
EU, I think might be out as well.
Are they out? Is Ultra EU out?
I think so.
Yeah.
They didn't win today, right? I felt bad for Ultra EU because they didn't have Harry. Harry went to London, and then
Harry was frying.
He's good. Harry's very good.
I mean, this kind of sucks, but I think regardless if Gizmo wants to come back, it might get to the point where that London team just keeps Harry the rest of the year, no matter what. Because
he's one that we actually forgot to talk about. Harry, he's another one who moved into
they only
to
played
London.
One game, I think, but yeah, they cooked, and he
looked good. He looked really good today. I've been hearing good things about Harry.
He got left out initially just because a lot of the EU players say that he was the best AR like in challengers. From at least from the EU side, but the problem is, you know, when you look at the London roster at the time when they were looking at players, Harry wasn't a flex. Trey was their main, so it's not like they couldn't just bring him on as a starter. But I'm glad he got a shot because guy's very, 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 very talented.
All right. So who are all the teams eliminated? Seattle, Strike X, Ultra Academy, EU. Who else is eliminated? Is that it?
I want to say, is Minnesota? No.
They're 1-1, so they have a chance.
Did War win anything?
I don't know. Did Team War
play once?
They only lost once.
Okay, so yeah,
they have a couple more games.
Yeah, so it's just one team.
Those teams. We said.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
So tomorrow's gonna be a big day. We'll see what happens after this chat. After the top two from each pool moves forward, you go into a single elimination bracket. and that's it. You lose, you're out. So single elim, no double elim, no winners, no losers, none of that. You make it top 2 out of your pool, and you get moved into the bracket. So once we get to Saturday and Sunday, it's gonna be gruelers, man. First place gets 100K. So a lot of money on the line here. That's a good chunk of change, man, for a Pro-Am Classic. So a lot of these guys are definitely going to be going hard. You know, I know there's a lot of people who aren't sure whether to count it or not, but I can tell you that these pro teams are trying to win. There's no way they're not. If they're not trying to win, then that's a serious fucking problem. I'd be pissed if I was on a pro team and my teammates weren't trying to win because they weren't taking it serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we think Ultra NA is gonna make it to the bracket? I think they will.
Who's their pool?
Boston and Paris now.
What? Yeah, I definitely think those guys make it.
Yeah.
No
We'll
offense
see.
to any of the pro teams, but I mean, like, yeah, they're good.
Yeah, so we'll watch tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Got another 12 matches, so another big day, and then we get into the single elim bracket. I think at this point we'll take it to the chat. We'll see if there's any questions, and we'll go from there, man. Answer some questions from the chat, and we'll call it a day. So, first question right off the bat that I see somebody saying is just talking about the production. Listen, man, 4 streams going on today. A lot of lag outs, a lot of just stupid shit. You know, they're doing the best they can. I thought the production was good, but there was just a lot of lag outs, and I don't know if that's the producer's fault. Like, I don't know if it's their fault. People are lagging out and stuff like that. Thoughts on Gunsy? I thought Gunsy was pretty good. What'd you guys think about Gunsy today? He was doing his thing today. He looked pretty good.
I mean, like, it's hard to tell when, like, Strike X as a whole was just getting clapped.
Yeah, they were getting clapped. So
Unfortunately,
individually, you know, he looked okay. But
yeah, I played with them in MW Challengers, and I've seen him. He's a good player. All those guys are all pretty good in their own right. It's just they were a pickup team. Like I said, they qualified at the Challenger event by beating, was it Trash Bros in like a grueling map 5 or something like that, and they came here, got hard pool, and got smoked. Like it happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gunsy's a good player.
one thing somebody asked in the chat is, do you think after this major, well, it's not a major, but after this Pro-Am Clay or someone from a Challenger team gets picked up, a lot of these players from these Challenger teams, they're showing out, they're showing what they can do. Do you see maybe in LA Thieves trying to make a change and maybe looking to get Scrappy or maybe looking to get some of these Challenger players? What do you guys think? Think it'd be a smart play?
I think the problem is that there's no roster changes to make, right? Like, yeah, Scrappy's like the only one, and even then it's going to require a buyout now out of Ultra if Ultra don't decide to keep him for themselves. I think all these teams are in a kind of a shit spot now that they've waited so long because there's no one else to get. Like, Scrappy would have been the for sure one to get, but then he went and signed to the official Toronto team. So I don't know. I think teams are screwed.
I think LA Thieves maybe tries their sub Pentagram. He's a good SMG player from Challengers. He's had varying success throughout the last couple, titles in Challengers, and I think he's good enough to, at least get a chance. That's, I think, what they need, right? You said Envoy needs some help, and I think Draza looks good on the flex. So you either take, Kenny or Draza on that flex role, and then you bring in Pentagram and at least try it, unless they go for like a bigger, buyout situation. But I think it can't hurt because they're kind of screwed at this point in time. But I mean, he deserves a shot, bro.
Comes down to outside of using your sub, if you want to give your sub a shot, then go for it. But outside of using your sub, I just think all teams are chalked. Like, Gunless is going to be available, possibly, but again, a buyout.
Yeah.
Scrappy, a buyout. Obviously, no one's going to touch Clay through his contract, and probably not Neptune now due to the discussions around him. But there's no one else out there. Major Maniac, again, that's going to be a buyout. Like,
I think you're right. I think we're getting pretty close to our end game, versions of teams at this point in the season, just because of the situations and who signed who. So I think if people are going to make changes, it's going to be very, very minimal, or it's going to be very, very hard to do.
Yeah. Some other questions that were coming in. People were talking about Berlin Control. They want to hear your thoughts about Berlin after watching it. I heard a Beezy in an interview saying that he thinks it's a good map because, you can win it on offense. That beat point looks pretty hard to me on offense. It looks pretty hard to get that beat point, but teams were
100%.
doing it today. Teams were definitely capping beat today. I mean, one clean dead pushing through the front. I feel like there wasn't much strategy in going into it on the offense other than just you get that back warehouse spawn and teams are just flooding through front and just picking up kills and trying to stack kills. Sometimes you'll see somebody take a long route right and try and flake in behind, but any kills that happen, they just spawn right behind you, backfire, and they just, you know what I'm saying?
I was talking to you at, not off stream, but before the show, how it plays. The flow of it plays very similar to Raid, where the B point from Raid would essentially be the one, the B point, and then the A point would be kind of like the ring one that's a lot easier to give. And what you would do is you just keep flooding the train station and pushing through the train station just like you would with the mansion on Raid.
Yeah.
And you just funnel them to spawn on like the other corner of the map. You play it the same way, and you just basically funnel the team there. But just like Raid, if you can manage to break through the front of the point and spawn them, back into their spawn, you can easily cap that point, even more so than you could on Raid, because they're funneled through like one fucking lane to try to get to the train station or whatever you want to call it. So, but yeah, it reminds me a lot of the flow of Raid control from Cold War.
What did you think, Pat? Did you like watching it or no?
I only got to watch one game on it, but yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you, Tom. I think it looks more to where that B point again is just going to play out like every other map when teams get really good at it, but I guess we'll just have to see.
Yeah, I feel like once a defensive team gets kills and they push up right and they push up tracks and they kind of just pin you back warehouse, it's so hard to get out of it. But I mean, at this point, they're trying to bring more maps to control, and I feel like right now. I mean, it is better than Gavitu for sure. I'm not a fan of Gav at all, so it is better than that map. I definitely think Tuscan controls the best best control we have. And then Berlin is, I guess, is second. It's we're picking from a pile of shit. You're picking the best of the shit. So it is what it is. And then I guess the last question that I saw somebody come into that said in the chat is Kismet. They want to know. Apparently, Kismet's on a 2-week contract right now. So people want to know if we think Kismet. Do we think Kismet's gonna get an extension? And I think
they played one game.
They only played one game, and I think we're gonna have to wait and see what's going on for the rest of the weekend.
Knowing NYSL, even if they play well with Kiz and they get out of their group and they do well in the bracket, to me, I think this team is always gonna look to improve, and if they can improve, they will, regardless.
Yeah. So you could see them if they find somebody where they can make a change and get somebody better. You think they'll just continually just keep making changes if they have to?
Yeah.
Yeah,
there isn't anyone better, bro, right now.
You don't think so?
Available,
yeah, but I definitely think a lot of these Challengers players. Beans impressed me today. That Beans guy is really good. Scrappy's really good. You have Gunless. You have Gunless who's on the bench.
But they're both ARs, and like they're not going to take Paul's spot or Crim's spot. It's literally just Kismet, submachine gun wise.
And shit, Harry, Hixie.
Harry is an AR player. Hixie's a submachine gun player.
Hey, listen, I'm taking the best of the best. Pristini, no bullshit. Pristini might work on this team. I don't know if he's been playing. I don't know if he's better than Kismet, but
yeah, I'm not sure.
My point was more so if they have an opportunity to get someone who they think is better, and it's not like Kismet's like frying. I mean, I think Kismet's gonna stay around this kind of like 0.8, 0.9, under 1.0. So. He's obviously what he brings to this team, and probably what they value him most for is just one aggression, but definitely his comms. From what I saw, I didn't realize how good his comms were.
Yeah, Kismet has good comms.
Yeah, he's a good player.
But yeah, I see. Knowing NYSL and what has happened, if they can improve and turn their year around, they will.
All right, and let's tune into the interview from Scrappy. A lot of people want to see this, so I got it right here for you guys, man. Let's tune in and see what the kid had to say. Another Tomas from New Jersey. How you doing? Let's tune in.
Yeah, you did. You ended up having a 1.36 through the series is what we were talking about. Very impressive stuff out of you through really the last 2 events and coming here to the Pro-Am. You obviously get to play against the pro teams. You and I were talking a little bit off camera about how a lot of these guys, these are your guys from your
Tactical
circle,
Rab, that ain't right.
It looks like Tactical Rab a little bit.
And then tomorrow we were talking, you get to go up against Capsidal and TJ and Methods. You know all those guys. Are you excited for that match?
Of course. I can't wait to play Tej. Respectfully, guys trash. But we're going to see. We will see.
And last thing real fast is I want to talk to you about a lot of people have seen some videos and talked about a little bit of a trash talk. Is it something that just kind of gets you hyped up, get your team going, and kind of just gets you locked in the zone?
Nah, of course. I just know that if I get hyped, my teammates are going to get hyped. They're all going to all play better, play confident, and it's good to see it.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
no,
You
man.
didn't
Honestly,
have
what
a
did you guys think about Josiah on interviewing some of these players? What did you guys think about that?
He looked good. He's a natural.
Jerry's a natural, bro.
Yeah, he's a natural. I didn't think he was doing that. I had no idea he was interviewing people and shit. So that was pretty cool.
He was texting me on his flight this morning. But look, Jerry's just gonna kill it in whatever. He's just an absolute showman.
Yeah, nope. Shout out to Jerry. It's good to see him up there and back on camera where he belongs, man. Looking like $1 million. But other than that, man, I think that's gonna do it for us today, man. Unless Chris and Pat got anything else to say, but I think we covered most of it. We'll start analyzing more matches and stuff once we get to Saturday and Sunday. But thank you guys so much for all the love and support. It's been a lot of energy in this chat all day. Thank you to everybody who came in and dropped some questions. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Go to anchor.fm/theflank to check out all the audio sites that we're on. Go to, guys, the Flank Twitter. Verified now. How did you guys see that? I don't know if you saw, but the Flank is now verified on Twitter. So go show the Flank some love. Go follow at the Flank on Twitter. Gert's doing a fantastic job running socials over there. So, it's an absolute pleasure, man. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, man, take care, brush your hair, and we'll see you guys on the next one. All right? Peace out, guys.
Later.